Are we rolling?
We are.
We're rolling.
We're on a roll and we're rolling. And oh my
today.
gosh, it's been so long. Hi, and welcome to Teach People How to Treat You. My name is Donna.
I'm Nadine. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're all staying healthy and safe out there.
Yeah, we've managed to, although we do need to mention a little mishap that Nadine had a couple months ago, would you say? Maybe
3 months ago. Had a little kitchen dancing party that went in the wrong direction, snapped my ankle in half.
But with people that she was in her bubble.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
just so you know,
Total bubble. It was just
one of those nights we have to do something, we're in quarantine. So you were making a great night on a Friday night. You were making the most of it, weren't you? Or Thursday night?
We were. It was a very small bubble. There was only 4 of us, but I was really excited because I had gotten this huge charcuterie board for Christmas.
That's right.
And I wanted to serve dinner on the charcuterie board. So we have everything on there from, bacon wrapped scallops to sliders, to charcuterie, like, the cheeses and the meats and the grapes and all that.
This woman is the queen of charcuterie boards.
That's for sure. Working on it. Thank you, though. And of course, as always, there was wine. And then later there was wine and music. But I wasn't out of my mind.
It wasn't because of the wine.
No, it wasn't because of the wine. It was, the wine brought out the good time and the music. And then, it was, let's twirl you and then dip you. And then the dip is, it was a very deep dive dip, which ended up, the person that I was dancing with was, felt so awful. It was an accident. It was a terrible accident. But the saddest part was when I got to the hospital, the nurse asked me what song. I broke my leg in half too, and I couldn't remember. And she said, "Now that is more of a tragedy than your actual break."
Oh, I like her.
But she was singing a song that, people our generation would know. She was singing "Joy to the World." Remember that song?
Oh, yes. Three Dog Night.
Three Dog Night.
Yeah,
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
That's
so
right.
I knew she was sort of in our era. And then she asked me what happened, and I told her, and she said, "Well, what song were you dancing to?" And I said, "I can't remember it." And then she said, that was very tragic. It did come back to me eventually. It was Gloria by Laura Branigan.
Okay, yeah.
Which is one of
another
my
classic.
Usual go-to song, probably why I was uncertain. And we fell together. We fell together. So I ended up on the other side of it.
And you're just now in a new boot, so to say. Like you were in an air cast, is that correct?
Yeah, I had an air cast on. So I had a very progressive surgeon. And he put me in the air cast from the beginning to allow the leg to swell and adjust. And then went to see him so a week ago, and he put me in a brace. So I'm in a brace, and I'm allowed to now put weight on it, which has changed my life again, because the first 3 months I wasn't allowed to put an ounce of weight on it. So my daughter, God bless her, was my nursemaid for weeks, and my sister too. And of course I'm so blessed with wonderful friends who checked in and
offered our services, but Nadine already had her crew in place. But I kept hounding her, "Can I drive you somewhere? What can I do? Can I bring you food? Can I do?" And you had it all covered, really.
Well,
I did what I could. I did.
You did everything.
Like
it was great.
Support.
So this is good, for our show too, because it really it was an accolade to the people that I have in my life, my good close friends, and how we all come together in times of need.
Yeah.
We had a friend that did end up getting COVID last year. I don't know if you remember my girlfriend. Anyway.
Okay. No, I
her
don't.
name,
But
she had, and it's so wonderful how people come together.
Yes.
In these challenging times, and this was no different. Like I really had a very good support circle around me, and because I was becoming like, when you can't use a major limb, the way you have to move your body to get anything done is like reprogramming your brain, reprogramming how you're going to think, how you're going to move, how you're going to react. It's a lot of work. Like I found it tiring sometimes when I was like, "Oh, I have to get on the scooter." My daughter got me a knee scooter.
Oh, that's right.
I was scooting around the room.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Sure.
We were going to tackle a different topic for this video, but something's just come to me. So
Okay.
if you don't mind, I'm going to blindside you and say, why don't we go keep on with this theme?
Okay.
Because teaching people how to treat you, and I think one of the things that is very difficult for women like ourselves is to accept it when people want to help us.
Oh my gosh.
So
yes,
I think that
yes,
that would be
yes.
the topic. And
Okay.
then our next video will be the other one we were talking about. Because we've already started with the background on where you were and how you were in a vulnerable spot physically, and I'm sure emotionally too. And there were so many things going on. I know that you were even thinking you wished you could have turned back time and lived that day again and done things differently so this hadn't happened.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the things that we as women especially have trouble with is to accept the help when people want to offer it. And we need to get past that and say, yes.
We do.
We really do.
We do. Because, you know, it's projection. And what I mean by projection is, had this happened to anybody in our circle of friends, we would have been, you know, same thing. Like, let me cook for you, let me drive you around, because it's my right leg, so I couldn't drive. You let me change your shower head. I had a girlfriend, oh my goodness, that came to the house before I was released from the hospital and changed the shower head. So I had one of the handheld ones. Got me the girls bought me a stool so I could sit in and put a removable hand bar so I could configure myself around, and thought nothing of it. So that's what I mean by projection. We would think nothing of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing that. And we don't think anything of it when we've got a friend in need.
Yeah.
And yet when you're the recipient of that, it's almost like you're going like, no, I don't want to bother you. I don't want you to go out of your way. I don't want anything to disrupt your schedule. I know you're busy. And yet circumstances like this makes you, because I had a lot of time to think.
Yes. Oh yeah. You got. Yeah.
And I just thought, I can't. I need help. I can't do this by myself.
I know that. No. And it's interesting because what I realize, and I often think about it, is that we go through our days, and I'm really, really busy, as are you and so many other people, like everybody. Like, we all have our lives and we're all so caught up with friends and family. But it's interesting how when something like this happens or there is a death, I always think about this when I'm going to a funeral, for instance. It's amazing how you can rearrange your schedule like that when something like this happens. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, that's a whole other topic too, on how we need to think that way every day, on how we often put off things like visiting people, or like, just because we're thinking, no, we're so busy, we'll get to that later. But you never know, like, it's almost better to just do what you feel at the moment. However, in times like this, in a crisis, it's amazing how we can do that. And we all will do it, and we want to do it gladly. All of a sudden, it puts everything into perspective. And, you know, I don't have to water my front lawn right now. You know, I'll do it later, or I'll go out and I'll do what I need to do because my friend needs my help.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do it. And it's so funny. It doesn't matter. It's not a bother. All of a sudden, it's not a bother. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, we make the time. We can make the time, and we want to make that time. So we need to know how to receive it.
We need to know how to receive it and accept it. And it's okay to accept help. And I'll tell you from my own personal experience, like, I am one of the fiercest people when it comes to, I've got this. I can do this. And that comes from having run my own business. It comes from having raised my 2 children on my own. You know, it comes from having, you know, competitive background. And I'm always the first one to say, no. Right? And then yet, if I offer help to somebody and they say, no, I'm like, what, are you crazy? Like, come on, you can't do this. You can't. I'm the first person to point out the flaw and punch holes in that whole theory as to why you wouldn't accept help. And yet, what a hypocrite. I was like, very stoic. I can't accept this.
Well, you didn't even tell me at first. I had to hear it through the grapevine. I was beside myself.
Because I knew. You see, here we go. Point in
case or something.
Case in point. Case in point.
That's it. Okay.
I thought, oh my God, because Donna and I are like sisters. And I thought, I don't want her to hear from somebody else because that's horrible. But I know if I call her, she's going to mic drop and leave and be in her car. She won't even know where she's going or what she's doing, but she's going to be in the car saying, call Nadine or call my kids, right? And what is, you know, and I didn't want to do that. And here it is. I'm proving my own point in that I I didn't know how to, it was overwhelming. I didn't know how to accept help. So I didn't want to say anything to anybody about this injury. And then of course it leaks out. And it's really important. It's really important to allow yourself, and we've seen, there are experts on this, to be vulnerable. I was so vulnerable. So vulnerable. I had no mobility.
Okay, well, let's even backtrack. You were in the hospital for a few days. They couldn't do your surgery right away.
Right.
This lady needed surgery. You're the metal queen now, right?
I am. I'm almost, 5% metal. I'm going to set off bells at the airport like nobody's business.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
and I think this is it. So that we all have to just take a step back. So when we need help, it's all right to accept it. It's all right to reach out and ask somebody for help.
Yeah.
So please be mindful that we're all in this together. We all want to support one another. Your friends, your family, they're there, and we all want to help. Like at first when you were saying no, I didn't want to take it personally, but I sort of was. I thought, well, why doesn't she want, like,
right?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and why are other people there helping? Like, I want to be there. Like, and the thing is, you have to know that we want to be there, and others want to be there. Like, whether you think it or not, they do. And you're not bothering. You're not bothering your people. You're not. And you'd be surprised too. One thing too, I'll just add in, was when I had breast cancer, I was amazed and you were so helpful and so great, and the support I got was amazing. But I will tell you, there were people that I didn't even know that well that came, I don't want to say came out of the woodwork, but people that just appeared and manifested, came into my life to help me, to mentor me, and to take me to appointments and things. And I did end up accepting it because I actually had to. I had no choice. I couldn't drag myself to chemo.
Right.
And it was great. And it's funny because there were those two that I actually thought I could count on, and I couldn't. So that's the other thing too. You will find out in these times of need who your real friends are.
People will surprise you. People will surprise you. I had people,
good and bad.
Exactly.
Go on.
No, you're absolutely right. Like you're absolutely right. Like there were people that reached out to me that I hadn't talked to in years.
Wow.
So, and I didn't put anything on social media.
No.
Right?
Thank
I
God.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want the individual that fell with me to feel badly, like that I was posting this whole thing. And I just didn't, I'm private, so I didn't want really anybody to,
I agree.
I didn't want to draw that kind of attention. But however, through the grapevine, I had people that I never expected to hear from, reaching out or calling. Well, that's reaching out. So at the end of the day, I think there's two things here. It's okay to be, when you're vulnerable, and you're really vulnerable, like you were when you had breast cancer, and in this situation where I'm completely immobilized, like as far as, driving or moving or putting weight, like I've got, one leg. It's okay to reap the good that you've contributed to other people, because, you like attracts like.
Yeah.
And okay, here's a real cliche for you. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in the hospital thinking, I was very moved and emotional. It could have been the morphine too, but the movement and the movement and the emotional aspect of it was like, wow, I'm so blessed to have such great people in my life. People that are, like Donna saying, dropping everything to come to make sure that I have what I need, or I have the assistance that I need. And I felt, very happy that maybe I've done some good out there.
I was just going to say, and you have. And
right?
by doing that good, it does come back. It does come back.
Yeah.
And that is another lesson too. It's not just being able to accept it, but by being there for others.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you're open, you're putting it out to the universe, and you're open to it coming back to you. And we never know when we're going to need it.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, on that note, be there for others and let others be there for you. And
it's okay to say, yes, I need your help. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.